In the game of Pokemon, not all species are created equal. While some dominate the viability tiers, others sit a little lower, usually due to either a limited moveset, poor typing, or mediocre stats. Below these, however, sit the Pokemon in the lowest tier. These are Pokemon who exhibit most, if not all, of the weaknesses that I just mentioned. So I asked myself, if I assembled a team consisting of 6 of the worst Pokemon for a Soul Silver Nuzlocke, just how far could I take them using hardcore rules? Would they fail miserably? Or just maybe, could they prove the rankings wrong? Here's how it went. Unlike a regular Nuzlocke, I'll be starting our journey with my full team, but can't catch any other Pokemon throughout the run. So with my newfound friends, I set off. The early routes pose little trouble, as the Pokemon we come up against have limited moves and poor stats, just like us. Unknown in particular does quite well, as its hidden power fighting is one of the strongest moves that we have access to early on. Onix's physical bulk and typing walls the flying Pokemon of the first gym. As such, I'm quickly able to obtain our first badge by relying on Screech and Rock Throw. The next few routes have quite a few water types, however these are easily handled by Sunflora, who now has access to Growth and Mega Drain. It's also got a Miracle Seed, which boosts the power of grass moves. Corsola helps clear the Union Cave, and in no time at all, we've made it to Azalea Town. I quickly deal with the incredibly weak Team Rocket executive, and it's now time to take on the gym. Its subtly named leader, Bugsy, uses Bug-type Pokemon. This fight is trouble-free, as we've got a type advantage in Onix that can be abused to quickly eliminate his team. 2 badges down, and smooth sailing so far. We crush our rival and capture some birds in the Elex Forest on our way to Goldenrod City. I also encountered this tutor. He teaches Headbutt, which has a 70 base power, so I abused his kindness and taught it to most of my team. The run so far has been quite easy, however we've now arrived in Goldenrod, and our biggest challenge yet awaits us in the form of Whitney and her notorious Miltank. My plan was to lead with Onix, buff its defense with Harden, and slowly chip away at her Pokemon. This didn't quite work out however, as her Clefairy got a water gun from Metronome and buried my Onix. Ouch. Unknown was able to take Clefairy down with hidden power fighting, however her Miltank began its rollout death march, and it wiped the remainder of my team. That was brutal. On my second attempt however, things went much smoother. I led with Unknown this time, removed Clefairy, and switched into Onix only once Miltank was out. It was still close this time around, but ultimately I was able to obtain the 3rd badge with no casualties. Further north and onto Route 36, I squirted on an obstructing tree which cleared our path to Ecruteak City. I also stopped some awful dancing, and as a reward, I was given the Surf HM, which I taught to Corsola. In the Burn Tower, our rival wants a rematch, but his team isn't too threatening at this point in the game, so we defeat him easily. We're now ready to take on the 4th gym. I'm a little worried as we have no clear type advantage and Morty's Gengar is no joke. My plan is to rely on Corsola's Surf, as it's by far the strongest move we have that isn't resisted by Gengar. This fell through immediately. Corsola didn't even make it past the first gym trainer due to a curse me look combo. Sorry Corsola. Nevertheless, I pressed on and was fortunately able to reach the leader with no more casualties. This fight was tough, but I was able to cheese my way to victory by putting Ghastly to sleep with Grass Whistle, reaching +6 attack with Growth, and then using Mega Drain to do huge damage while also recovering. With a Sunflora sweep, we've got our 4th badge. Next is Olivine City, but we don't stay here long. I'm bound for Cyanwood, but have no Pokemon suitable for the ocean route ahead. So naturally, we floated there on my dead piece of coral and made it in no time. There isn't much happening in Cyanwood, but there is a gym, and its leader uses fighting type Pokemon. I really don't have a hard counter for his team, but for whatever reason, he only has 2 Pokemon, and one of them has a secondary water typing. As such, Sunflora is able to sweep once more with its trusty Growth and Mega Drain strategy. It's an easy fight, and that gives us 5 badges. We also got the Fly HM, which our chunky built Delibird can learn. It'll be useful for getting around, but also gives us some nice coverage in battle too. Back to Olivine. After healing the town's sick electricity slave, it's time for another gym in quick succession. Jasmine uses a team of 3 Steel-type Pokemon, so this won't be as easy as the last one. My plan is to rely on hidden power fighting from Unknown and Onyx's electric immunity to take her down. Things went south very quickly. Thunderbolt from Magnemite took down 2 of my Pokemon, with Steelix wiping out the rest. It was another wipe, but I wasn't ready to give up. On my 3rd run, I was able to defeat Morty without losing Corsola this time. It's good to have her back. We then defeated Chuck in a similar fashion to the last run, but needed more luck this time around. We were now ready for another go at Jasmine. My approach this time was a little more well thought out. I gave Onyx an upgrade with the Quick Claw and Dig, both of which we obtained from the National Park. This would give me much more offense against Magnemite, and Steelix should also be more manageable this time as we have Corsola's Surf. Onyx quickly disposed of the first Magnemite, before crucially, Ledium was able to set up Reflect, which allowed a safe switch into Corsola, who was just able to take Steelix down. Finally, Unknown barely hung on, but took the scalp of the second Magnemite just in time. Jasmine was defeated, and we now had 6 badges to our name. This battle was the toughest yet, and was an indication that I needed to be a little more strategic going forward. The days of breezing through early game battles were now well and truly behind us. This was the first sign that my team had started to fall behind. Now heading east of Ecruteak City, I grabbed the Strength HM and travelled onwards to Mahogany Town. Here we see Lance literally try to kill someone. Jeez, he's not messing around. The red sea snake goes down, as does Team Rocket. It's time for the next gym challenge. While technically being an ice gym, Price has 2 Pokemon with a secondary water typing, so our coverage for this fight isn't too bad. So I began the fight with Price and wow. Choice Spec Sunflora ripped him apart in 3 turns with Petal Dance. That's gotta be embarrassing. Our 7th badge came as easy as the first. Not bad. Next we need to infiltrate Team Rocket, but this idiot blows our cover. This same idiot then challenges us to a battle in the Rocket base. This did not go well for us. The battle caught me off guard, and I struggled to switch my Pokemon around without taking big damage. My Onyx, Sunflora, and Delibird all fell to his Haunter. I pressed onward with those that remained, but it was all too much. Unknown could barely touch these Pokemon. Ledian has no offensive capability, and Corsola was okay, however, it had to solo every battle and eventually fell to a poor type matchup. It was a 3rd wipe, but I still had some belief left in the team. This time around, I had a better lead for our rival battle, and as a result, the battle went much smoother, even if there were some close calls. With a full team, we were much better poised for the next few battles, and in the end, I was able to defeat the imposter Rocket Boss, largely thanks to Corsola. In search of the final gym badge, I then headed east from Mahogany Town through the ice path before reaching Blackthorn City. Edgy. This gym uses powerful Dragon-type Pokemon. As evidence of this power, I wiped to the first gym trainer Seadra. Insane power. It outspeeds my whole team, and I don't really have much of an answer for it. On the next run, I tweaked my strategy and taught Corsola Ice Beam. This ripped through most of the gym trainers, so I was able to make it to clear unscathed this time around. However, we suffered a similar fate as the previous run at the hands of her Kingdra. Back to the drawing board. On the 6th run, my strategy was centered around using Delibird to take down Gyarados, Corsola to take down the first Dragonair, and Sunflora under Sunny Day to finish off her team with some seriously powerful Solar Beams. The whole team contributed in this fight, and while I was relieved to have survived, I also felt a great sense of pride. Our little team of F-tier Pokemon had banded together and truly accomplished something great. It wasn't all good news though, as I had to sacrifice Unknown for a safe switch in. Admittedly, Unknown had really struggled since the Steel Gym. I was no longer able to get much use out of it, even when it had a type advantage. Sorry Unknown, rest easy. The next portion of the game saw us take on the Kimono Girls, Lugia, and the trainers leading up to the Pokemon League. My team survived through these battles, however, I could feel my confidence dwindling. We were on our last legs, but stumbled onwards to the Pokemon League for one final challenge. After preparing my team, it was time to step inside. I'd like to be able to say that my beloved team held their own, or that we were victorious, or even that we played Lance close. In reality, we didn't see Lance, nor Karen, nor Bruno. We could defeat Will, but not without heavy losses. I had several attempts, however, this was the end of the road. We struggled to deal damage, could barely take multiple hits, and never outsped our opponents. Repeatedly, my team helplessly crumbled before my very eyes, and on the 10th attempt, I'd seen enough. We weren't able to defeat the Pokemon League, but does that really matter? This was a team considered to be the worst of the worst, but despite that, this team of unwanted Pokemon were able to cover each other's weaknesses and claim all 8 badges of the Johto League. They went so far, and the fact that they fell at the final hurdle doesn't invalidate that. If I've done my job with this video, then the next time you come across a Corsola, Ledian, or one of our other Pokemon in one of your own runs, maybe you'll give it a try. It just might surprise you. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, consider subscribing. It's free and really helps me grow my channel. If you have any suggestions for future challenges, let me know below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.